Remember 2024? Remember when Boulder, Colorado was the absolute epicenter of the sport universe? Rappers on the sidelines, sunglasses sold out nationwide, and Travis Hunter striking the Heisman pose on every screen you owned? Yeah, cover your eyes, folks, because the bill has officially come due. This is Rico Suave from the College Pigskin Hour, and before we expose the Colorado facade, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. While the mainstream media is currently performing Olympic-level mental gymnastics to tell you that year 4 of the Coach Prime era is progressing nicely, the cold, hard reality has officially walked through the door. The flashy Hollywood transfer portal-fueled experiment known as Coach Prime at Colorado has officially failed. And today, we're peeling back the designer shades to look at the quicksand this entire program was built on. Now, if you listen to the eternal optimists over at On 3, or the wait-and-see crowd like Josh Pate, they'll tell you that Deion already won. They'll look you dead in the eye and say, hey, man, Colorado won 9 games in 2024. The bar was on the floor before he got there, so any success is a miracle. To which I say, since when do we evaluate an absolute media circus by basement-level standards? You don't get to bring the entire hip-hop industry to your spring games, completely blow up the traditional high school recruiting model, look into the cameras and scream, "We coming," and then expect us to grade you on a curve when it all hits the fan. So let's talk about how it hit the fan. In 2025, the wheels didn't just come off. The entire chassis dissolved. Colorado plummeted to a brutal 3-9 record. They didn't just lose, they surrendered. They gave up 53 points to Utah, and then turned right around and let Arizona drop 52. Do you know how hard it is to surrender over 100 points in a 2-week span in modern college football? That's not a defensive scheme lapse. That's a collective roster checking their bags at the airport before the third quarter even starts. You see, America, this thing was never built on a firm, lasting foundation. It was a beautiful, highly transactional mirage. It wasn't built to sustain Colorado football for a decade. It was a customized, short-term showcase designed to maximize Deion Sanders' NFL draft stock and turn Travis Hunter into a household name. And look, give credit where credit is due. Deion got his spotlight, and Travis Hunter put together an absolute once-in-a-generation Heisman season that this era of college football had never seen nor will ever see again. But what happened the absolute millisecond they packed up for the NFL? The culture cratered. Because when your program is built entirely on personal branding, radical materialism, and celebrity clout rather than development, discipline, and building a culture in the trenches, the moment the superstars leave, the mercenaries realize they aren't making the playoff, and they check out. Here we are now in year 4, 2026. And the mainstream narrative is shifting the goalposts so fast they're going to get a speeding ticket. The narrative used to be, Phase 1 is the portal. Phase 2 is building through high school. Deion literally told us he wanted to transition away from taking 40 transfers a cycle. So what did he do for this 2026 season? He went right back out and panic bought 42 more transfers. Why? Because the lines of scrimmage were completely empty. They had to take 18 linemen in a single cycle just to try and survive the Big 12. That isn't a recruiting strategy, guys. That is emergency room triage. And what's the plan to fix it? They hired Brennan Marion to run the go-go offense, and they are praying that redshirt freshman quarterback Julian Lewis, who showed flashes of brilliance last year but is still incredibly young, can put the entire university on his back and save the franchise. Deion literally didn't learn a thing from the Deion era, and the strategy for 2026 is exactly the same. Find an incredibly talented individual savior, give him some portal weapons like Danny Scudero and Richard Young, and hope individual genius can mask a lack of structural foundation up front. Look at how much the expectations have silently plummeted. 2 years ago, the media was talking about Big 12 championships and playoff spots. Now, national analysts are saying that success for Deion Sanders in 2026 is just making a bowl game, just being decent up front, just getting Richard Young to average 4 yards a carry so they can live in third and manageable. The fact is, if you turned over a roster 3 times, brought an unprecedented level of arrogance to the sport, completely alienated high school coaches, and your absolute ceiling in year 4 is fighting tooth and nail for a 6-6 record and a trip to the Liberty Bowl, the experiment failed. Deion got what he came for. His brand grew, his son is in the league, and the spotlight was bright. But Colorado football is right back where he found it, standing on quicksand, looking for a savior, and watching the glitter fade. Well, what do you think? Is Julian Lewis going to be the next Colorado savior? Is the prime experiment officially over? Drop your comments below. Don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next breakdown. This was the voice of college football from the College Pigskin Hour, coming to you live from our studio in Barstow, California. Stay prestigious, and good night, America.